Okay, so last video we covered the original Godzilla from 1954, and now today we are going to cover its sequel, Godzilla Raids Again. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you right off the bat. This, in my opinion, is one of the lesser Godzilla films. It's definitely not one of the worst. There are definitely some that are undeniably more atrocious.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles, you know.
In fact, this one does have a lot of things to like, or even love, but there are many more noticeable faults when compared to some of the better films in the franchise. We start off the film on a plane, where one of our main characters, named Tsukioka, he acts as recon for a fishing boat company, and as a pilot he spots a large school of fish and relays information to one of the boats. Another pilot, named Kobayashi, experiences engine trouble and calls in an SOS. He proceeds to a nearby island as the plane goes down. Hidemi radios Tsukioka so that he can go rescue Kobayashi. Tsukioka lands his seaplane off the coast of the island and finds Kobayashi. Unfortunately, on that very same island, they stumble across something that they never thought they'd see in their life. And it's not Japanese actors in brownface. Rather, they come across two kaiju going toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, 1v1ing on Rust. These two are Godzilla and Anguirus. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that have their own pronunciations when it comes to some of these giant kaiju, like King Ghidorah, or King Ghidra, or King Ghidorah. Well, I pronounce this monster as Anguirus, and if you don't like that, kindly shove your nearest Godzilla action figure right up your ass. The two are locked in fierce combat. This Godzilla is a completely separate Godzilla and not the same one who wrecked Tokyo in the first film. So this isn't a prequel or anything, a new Godzilla from the same species, and he just so happened to come across Anguirus, and they proceeded to fight, leading to them both falling off a cliff and into the sea, giving our two main characters a chance to get off the island. The two pilots are tasked with looking at pictures of dinosaurs to try and identify the other creature besides Godzilla, and this is where we learn Anguirus' name. Dr. Yamane also makes a surprise appearance in the film. You know, he was easily one of the best parts of the first film, and, well, he's back, baby. We learn that Anguirus is an Ankylosaurus, an ancient dinosaur from 70 to 150 million years ago. Dr. Yamane brings up the fact that there are no present countermeasures against these monsters, as the only man who created the oxygen destroyer from the first film died taking the secrets to this weapon to the grave with him. The group then watches a copy of the first film that Dr. Yamane bought on VHS. Dr. Yamane must have gotten ripped off because his copy of the film has no sound, so the scene is quiet and awkward. This goes on for about 2 minutes. No sound at all. Dr. Yamane then improvises a plan to evacuate people and force a blackout so as to not attract the monsters toward land. The company our main characters work for are worried about the waters they normally fish in because if Godzilla is there, they can't fish or make any money. I mean, I'd be more worried about Godzilla coming to shore and killing millions of people, but, you know, these guys gotta keep their priorities straight. Our two lovebirds go dancing. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, that main girl from the beginning, Hidemi, is dating Tsukioka. Well, actually, they're engaged, but you don't learn that until another 35-ish minutes. Anyway, as I was saying, our two lovebirds go dancing, when suddenly the radio issues an alert for the residents of Osaka. Godzilla is spotted by Osaka Bay, so the military will attempt to lure him away with flares and a blackout order is issued for the region of Osaka. The military prepares on the coast of Osaka. What the hell's everyone in a rush for? I mean, oh shit! Is that Godzilla? Dude, I love his movies. Oh, he's coming this way. And you guys got a pen? I really want to get his autograph. The flares work, and the planes manage to lead Godzilla away from Osaka. Fuck, man, I really wanted to get his autograph. What the hell are you guys laughing about, man? I'm fucking devastated here. Tsukioka and Kobayashi go to pick up their boss, Hidemi's dad, and come across a shootout and chase between cops and prisoners. You know what? Just don't ask. That's what's happening. Go with it. They give the cops a lift to help catch the escaped prisoners. Fucking snitches. And this leads to a car chase that results in the prisoners driving a truck filled with oil or gas into a factory. This creates a huge explosion, resulting in a fire. Fire means light, and this huge fire leads Godzilla right back to Osaka. The military tries its best to take him out, but I mean, come on. Did you really expect them to do any real damage to the King of the Monsters? Also, I really like this little plane crash. It looks really good for the time. Unfortunately, the fire also attracts Anguirus to Osaka. Sup, fat ass?
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Man. Oh shit, he's coming back! And Anguirus is here too! Can I get both you guys' autographs? I'm a huge fan of your movies. The showdown begins once again. Unable to harm these creatures at all the military can do is sit back and
let them fight.
The stunts, choreography, and monster action here is really fun and easily the best part of the film. The set pieces are bigger than the first film. However, there are times when you can clearly see Anguirus' back opening up. Even without that, there's just something so unabashedly likable and endlessly rewatchable about seeing dudes wear giant monster costumes and seeing them wreck shit like tiny buildings, city sets, toy tanks, all that good stuff. Sure, the CGI in the MonsterVerse films is pretty damn good and jaw-dropping at times, but this way of filming these fights in these older movies is just so damn charming and never gets old for me. We follow another group of prisoners that escaped earlier, and we see them die due to Godzilla and Anguirus' battle. And guys, I'm fat. I am in no position to be commenting on someone's physical appearance, but what in the hell is going on with the top of this man's head?
Look at the top of his head.
One of the coolest visuals, not just of this film, but perhaps one of the coolest visuals in Godzilla history is Godzilla and Anguirus destroying Osaka Castle in their battle. Godzilla bites down on the back of Anguirus' neck, throws him into a moat around Osaka Castle, uses his atomic breath, and officially kills Anguirus. At least this specific version of Anguirus. With Osaka up in flames and Anguirus now dead, we now cut to black. Wait, cut to black? What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like...
What happened to Godzilla? Did he continue his rampage? Did he go back to the sea? I mean, hell, I assume he did, because I don't see his ass stomping around the city anymore. What the hell? With the cannery destroyed, our characters go to what remains of their company office and salvage what they can. Our pilots get transferred to the Hokkaido division of their company since the head office in Osaka is in shambles. This forces Tsukioka and Hidemi to push back their wedding, which we are only just learning about right now. Once in Hokkaido, there is a big celebration of Tsukioka and Hidemi's engagement. The characters in the film are definitely better than Ogata and Amiko from the first film. Ogata and Amiko felt like they were pretty one note for most of the first film, and I didn't really buy their love story. Here, I buy that Tsukioka and Hidemi care for each other. The characters also smile and demonstrate their love for their friends and family, like when Tsukioka lights up after seeing some of his old friends he went to college and served in World War II with.
Yo, Kyoka, oreda.
The party is interrupted with news that one of their fishing ships has been destroyed by Godzilla. Japanese deadliest catch, don't fuck around. A search team is sent out in the morning. Tsukioka spots Godzilla and pursues. For some reason, Godzilla surfaces on some random frozen island that has literally nothing on it except for one passage that opens up, and then the clearing that opens up is completely surrounded by frozen mountains. So, I'll give you 3 guesses as to how you think he gets defeated. The Defense Force sends in some real planes, not seaplanes, to battle Godzilla. Unfortunately, Godzilla kills Kobayashi, but before dying, Kobayashi gives the others the idea to use an avalanche to trap Godzilla. The Air Force uses their explosives to try and force an avalanche. You know, you'd think they'd fire some missiles, the music would blast something epic, and they would successfully trap Godzilla, but instead the planes run out of missiles, go back to their base to reload, refuel, and re-explain their plan that we just learned 10 seconds ago. This brings the movie to a screeching halt, and Godzilla was just trapped, unable to escape until the planes arrived after having refueled. By the way, Tsukioka requested to get a plane of his own to avenge his fallen friend Kobayashi, so he takes part in the final battle as well. The military uses flames to box in Godzilla so he can't escape from that one narrow little path onto and off the island. The planes blow up the ice mountains and trap Godzilla, ending the film. It is important to note that the characters in this film are nowhere near as compelling as the characters in the first. Serizawa and Yamane are just so compelling, and the characters here, while likable, are just not that compelling. As a whole, the love story is much better here when compared to the first film, but none of these characters come close to being as likable as Serizawa and Yamane. Although I do really like Kobayashi, he's very likable and is more than just bumbling comic relief. The character has some heart, and I was rooting for him. I legit felt disappointed when he died in the film. There's even a running joke where Kobayashi, who is extremely single, is referred to as Mr. Groom, as he is in search of his own bride. As a whole, these characters get more fleshing out and more traits than Ogata and Miko, but are less likable and compelling than Yamane and Serizawa. Although Professor Yamane does make an appearance in the film, it is just in a cameo in one scene that is more of a recap of the first film. We get more information that we already know in this scene than we get new compelling information. Not just the characters, but the film itself is not as compelling as the first one. This one definitely does try to add in more comedy and lightheartedness. The original Godzilla arguably had one piece of comedy in Dr. Yamane fixing his tie when first introduced. The entire film had a dark atmosphere dripping with dread, and any lighthearted scenes are kept to a minimum. Here, there is the recurring joke about Kobayashi being single. The scene with the prisoners feels comical and downright slapstick. The best way to compare the difference in tone between these films is to compare the scenes that precede the big city destruction set piece of each film. In the first, we get to see the results of the devastation. There's injured and dead people everywhere. Some even have radiation poisoning, and we see a kid crying over the death of their mother. Meanwhile, in Godzilla Raids Again, we see a comedic scene of the main characters laughing and making jokes in their office as if they don't have a care in the world, as if thousands of people weren't just massacred by 2 giant monsters fighting in their city.
北海道へ渡ったら俺も早速花嫁さんを探し回るとするかな。非常捜査はお手のもんだからな。
林さん、女の子はちょっとお魚とは違うんですからね。
待ってやられた。まあまあ、その時仲人の役はこの北海道支社長が買って出るかな。万事どうぞよろしく。ふつかな男でございますが。
How does that funny? It's not funny. You're just being a fucking idiot, and you're not clever. You're not funny. You're just a fucking moron. And wipe that smug ass fucking smile off your face, you piece of shit. Okay? Go fuck yourself. I don't know why that bothered me so much.
The film just does not grip you as well as the first one does, in my opinion. The first is so well structured, starting off as a mystery noir film, exploring Godzilla's origins, and ramping up to the destruction of Tokyo. The first film is just dripping with atmosphere and has two fantastic characters played by fantastic actors. And I'm gonna be honest with you, once Godzilla kills Anguirus in this film, the film just loses all steam for me. It comes to a screeching halt. Now, I've said some negative things, but here are some quick things that I do like about the film. As I said earlier, I really like Kobayashi. He's a really likable character and actor. Anguirus is great. Anguirus is a personal favorite of mine when it comes to some of Godzilla's enemies and allies. I really liked him when I was a kid. Even now, I really love his design, and his roar is downright iconic. I really hope that someday we get to see him introduced into the MonsterVerse if they continue to make movies after Godzilla vs. Kong. The action is really fun and bigger than the first one. I love the fight between Godzilla and Anguirus in Osaka, resulting in them destroying Osaka Castle. While I have many problems with the film, this film is arguably as influential as the first Godzilla. This was the Toho monster film that set up the style of the monster versus monster matchups that most Godzilla films and most Toho kaiju films would follow. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, and most importantly, carried into the next film in the series that we will be looking at, King Kong versus Godzilla. Not only that, but this is the film that introduced Anguirus, a recurring and popular kaiju monster. Funny enough, even though they started as enemies, ending with Godzilla killing Anguirus, later in the series, Godzilla and Anguirus would become allies, and arguably, they're seen as best friends among the fandom. Alright guys, that's the review. As I said, King Kong vs. Godzilla will be next, and that one will be coming really soon. It'll come out either on the same day as Godzilla vs. Kong or the day after. But trust me, I'm excited for that. And then after that, maybe I'll review Godzilla vs. Kong. If not, the next video you can expect on the channel will probably be the big video deciding which is the best King Kong movie. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that future content. After that, we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know. And take care, guys. Later. Fuck. I hope that came out good.